Bear with me just one moment. I'm taking this picture. Crop, save. Okay, so can y'all hear me? If you can check your chat, please. I'm going to send a file just so you can try to make this the same. And why am I not seeing it? Well, actually, no, it's called the same thing. I accidentally saved it over it, but just double click in the chat and you'll be able to see a picture. Oh my, it's not cooperating here. Double click. And this is what you should see when you double click. Is that correct? Do you have this open? Okay. So this is what you should be able to have as an expected output. So match one digit, you win 2,000. Match, you get something similar. Okay. It doesn't have to be the exact thing, but basically you understand the gist. So if the exact two numbers are, if they enter the exact number, you win 10,000. If they enter the correct digits, but in reverse order, they win 3,000. If one of the digits matches, 1,000, otherwise nothing. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the breakout rooms. Bear with me. And this looks okay. Just give me one moment. Cool, here we go. So I was going to ask, just to get someone different, Rebecca, could you share?
Yes.
And yes, Rebecca, it does. Enter your lottery pick, 2 digits.
Okay.
Cool, I'll be back. Mariam, can you unmute, please?
Sure, sorry, sure.
Or Mariam, go ahead and mute. Or no, or unmute. Just here. I'm going to send Ibrahim.
Yeah.
Check your chat. Bear with me. You check your chat?
I did.
That looks good, Rebecca.
I'll be right back.
I'm going to go visit another room. I'll come back.
Okay.
Uh-oh. No one's sharing yet. Chloe, can you share?
Yeah.
Were y'all all just sitting here quiet? Coulson, are you working on this at all?
So I set up the first part where they ask for the random number and then it does the first for the tens digit and then the ones place and then the user and then it does the tens and the ones.
Nice.
And I was doing this part.
Coulson, can you hear us?
Yes.
Any comments on what Chloe's done thus far? Does it look right?
Yeah.
Sean, you're good?
Yeah.
So your brother said that I can immediately tell that one of you is younger. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Huh. Yeah, no, I can't tell. So that looks good if num is user, you won 10,000. So now else if, and y'all can chat about that together. I'm gonna go, so you need to have a larger expression here. I'm gonna go visit the last room. And actually, David, I would just use else ifs. And
Oh,
you can
we're
do
allowed?
that. Yeah, you're
Oh, we
allowed.
can.
Yeah, that's what I know you know how. That's what I was thinking. Maybe you didn't think you could. So on line 12, you can absolutely do an else if or elif.
Okay. I thought we were still supposed to only use if statements.
Yeah,
so I
no,
was
no.
doing that.
Yeah, the only reason we did that because that one problem, if you had noticed the output, is because if you had done if, elif, else, you would have only had one print statement. Versus if you had studied the actual output, you saw that they wanted you to print multiple things based off of the truth of whether or not they were both divisible. So there we
All right.
actually needed to do only if.
Okay. So if when you win 10,000, else if that checks for the singular digit, and I forget how to mathematically check for the second digit, because of course I do.
That's okay. Well, let's think about that. Can someone help out? Jonathan, Musab, how do we check? So the whole idea is you're saying 74. You're going to see the answer immediately. How did you get the 4?
I modded it by 10.
Yep, you divided it by 10 and you got a 4 down here. Well, what happened in the process? The process,
7.
you got the 7 up there. So you mod by 10 to get the 4, and you divided by 10 to get the 7. So what you've checked here,
Wow.
what you checked right there was
Yep.
the ones place. And when you use integer division by 10, that's when you get the tens place. Yep.
Yep. How did I forget that?
That we all forget. You're all right.
All right. So if, let me just, yep, that checks it. So print. Come on, mouse. And if only one digit matches. Did we need a if none matched?
So let's see. So that was, well, see, and you got to think about, is that really checking everything? Because here, what did you do? If both digits match, but in reverse order,
In reverse, then 3,000.
is that really what's going on there?
I thought it was,
It
but I
might be.
didn't.
Well, let's test it.
If,
So if it was 74 and 47, you want to check if those two match.
this will see it if play num mod 10 is equal to win num mod 10. This will get. Oh, yep, I see that now. I have it in reverse. Because I need to see if 7 matches 7, 4 matches 4, and I'm checking if 7 matches 4.
So just make this an integer division and make this a mod.
Yep. Thank you for catching that.
I think I just got lucky there.
Yeah, I'm sure if I would have ran it, I
Yeah,
would have seen
yeah,
it
absolutely.
eventually.
But now
Right.
this is a much longer one, line 15. There's a lot of different possibilities to check there.
Yeah, because if one matches,
Yep.
got
There's 4 different
it's got to
things.
be an or. If this or this, so
Or that. There's me 4 different things to check on. I'll come back. That looks like it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
If tens equals ones and ones equals, yep. Just don't forget your semicolon, your colon at the end of that line 19.
Yeah.
That looks good. Line 21 is the one that's going to be really exciting. Glad I'm not you right now, Rebecca.
Okay, so what does that one say? That's, yeah, ouch.
Well, it's not going to be, else is going to be they win nothing.
Yeah, okay.
So what are we doing here, Rebecca? Like logically, what are we checking for now, Rebecca?
Well, we're gonna have to do like 4
That-
comparison
yep,
things,
that-
right?
Yep, that tells me you already understand it, so I'll just leave you to it. That's why I said better you than me. Because you're really checking all, as you're coding it, just for Muddyam, you're in here, right?
Yeah.
So I want to just put this here for clarity. So let's just say that the user, the computer number was 74 and the user had entered 27. Well, you need to print they won 1,000. And you can keep going, Rebecca, you can ignore me. So here, because basically you need to check, does this number equal this one? Or does this number equal this one? Or does this number equal this one? Or does this number equal this one? So you have 4 ors. Does that make sense, Mariam?
Yeah.
It's going to get really nasty.
Am I doing it right?
Yep.
Rebecca, are you at McKeel?
Yes.
And have you taken a programming course?
Yes, I have.
Nice. Which one?
AP CSV.
So what language did you study?
JavaScript.
JavaScript. Okay. Did you do a decent amount of programming in that course?
Yes.
Nice. So this should all be pretty easy until now.
Yeah. It's the typing that's not so good for me. Did I do it right?
I believe so.
What will I do? Ryan, I'm not muted, just so you know.
That's all right. And then finally else, just
Let's roast them.
too bad to be you. I mean, we gave you so many opportunities to win.
Mhm.
Wow, very professional.
That was a very nice message. Okay, I'll let y'all test that. Let me go check on the other room.
Yeah,
So does it work?
not quite.
No.
So let me, where are y'all at? What are y'all thinking?
Well,
If we
me-
have one of the numbers correct, it still counts it as non-correct.
So really, yeah, really, I can tell you line 12 is good. Line 16 is, what are you checking in English? Like if you were to comment those lines, what is line 16 supposed to be doing?
So like if the tens place is equal to the ones place, or is this one where it's flip flopped? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if like the tens place is equal to the ones place, or the ones place is equal to the tens place.
Correct. And that's
the
why, and
different ones.
so I'll say line 16 is good because you're saying if that is true and this is true, that's good. So line 16 is good. Can you scroll over this area here or just close your assistant? Can you just close that at the top? Hit the X on the assistant. Yeah, so I can now see a little bit more. So here, if you can scroll back over to the left. So here you're checking random integer 1, user integer 2, or random integer 2, user integer 1, or, yeah, so you have the right idea, but you're really just checking all 4 possibilities. So if the number was 74, and how about 27, right? You need to check, does this number equal this one? Or does that first number equal this one? Or does this number equal this one? Or does this number equal this one? So it's just 4 statements that are all ORed together.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, that's the overall
Just-
idea.
I don't- just-
I'm trying to get rid of all those drawings.
So it would be, I'll just delete all of this.
I wouldn't delete it.
No.
Even, I mean, this part is good, and the or is good, and this part is good. So it's just a matter of, you can get rid of the parentheses. You can, and then it's just going to be 2 more things ORed together. It's a total of 4 things that are all ORed together.
Okay.
So you checked random integer 1 against user 2. Then you checked random integer 2 against user 1. So now you need to check random integer 1 against what?
One user integer 1, right?
Yep. And then random
Okay, so
integer 2 against user integer 2. And that should have covered all your cases. Let me go visit the final room. Is it working?
Yeah. So I run it and I have it print the winning number so that way I can check if the $10,000 is working.
Sure.
So 5,000 to play, enter a number. I'm going to enter 75. I just won $1,000.
Wow, that is exciting.
21. Let's go with 12. Just won 3,000, so that works. 47. I'm feeling 47, and I won $10,000.
Fantastic. So I was curious if you were going to stick with using the equations. So this is good. Yours is just nice and longer.
Yeah.
Because both the other, and there's not a right or a wrong way. So that's why this all works.
Yep.
The other 2 groups had first, I think, just took all those equations and saved them into variables and then used the variables.
Yeah.
And then you just stuck with the equations, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah, I realized I could just copy and paste, which was a lot quicker.
Yep.
I just had to copy and paste and change it from mod to division or
Absolutely.
division mod.
Absolutely. Nicely done. I'm going to go bring everyone back to the main room real quick. If you can
All
share,
right.
if you can share your screen once we get back there, please.
All right.
So David, if you can share your screen, please.
One moment. Where is it? There it is.
So I'm not going to go through, because of time, we're actually over time right now. I'm not going to ask y'all to explain it because y'all all have it this done correctly. So we just be preaching to the choir here. But I just wanted to point out what he did. He just kept using the equations over and over, which is perfectly fine. Now, if you had a lot more code and this was going to re-evaluate those things, that's when it's definitely certainly valuable to save the equations into variables like the other 2 groups did. But I just wanted him to show his solution just because it maybe looks more complicated. It's not, because it's the same exact solution, but he just kept, again, recalculating those values, which is perfectly acceptable. So nicely done, David.
All right.
And Rebecca, can I see yours? And this was, so this was a similar solution that I saw on, I think, with Rebecca and Chloe both, where both of those 2 groups calculated those values at the beginning and then just used the variables. Okay, so good, great job. All 3 groups, you got the correct answer, which is important. The takeaway here was practicing larger Boolean expressions. And what is a Boolean expression? Can someone remind me? What is a Boolean expression?
True or false?
Yep, an expression that evaluates a true or false. And so that was really the goal, to practice a larger Boolean expression that has these logical operators to even have larger, more seemingly convoluted or complex Boolean expressions. Well, guess what? That's it for this module. There's one other thing that I'm not going to go over, It's Pythonic. I'm not a Pythonic person, tell you the truth. I am and I wish I was. Python's a great language. If you're interested and you want to look at conditional expressions in Python, how you can convert those 4 lines into 1 line, feel free to look at those last 2 slides. But I'm not going to focus on that. And the final thing was just operator precedence and associativity. And this chart just simply shows you which things happen first. And we all already, for the most part, can y'all see my slide?
No.
No.
Someone should have interrupted me and said, hey, we don't see what you're talking about. So yeah, page 84 and 85, if you wanted to go look at the module, you can go look at how in Python, how those 4 lines can really be translated to 1 line. I don't personally use that as much because I'm not a Python programmer. Even though I can code in Python, and I do, I'm more of, I think differently in a C or Java language. But Python has a lot of cool ways to do things quicker, and this is just one of them. Although you can do something similar in C and Java. And the final thing was this last page of operator associativity, which y'all know some of this already, right? You've studied clearly that multiplication and division happens before addition and subtraction, right? But as far as what else, like you know the famous "please excuse my dear Aunt Sally" parentheses. Well, that's not even on here. So it's important to know, like the not happens before all of this, and then the and the or happens afterwards. So if you wanted to know what happens first, if we remove the parentheses, this is your operator precedence chart to show you that an and is evaluated before the or, and that all of this stuff gets evaluated before the assignment operators and those augmented assignment operators. So we're done with this entire module on if, nested if and else's, multi-way if, elif, else statements. I'm going to open up a lot more replets. I think it's like 10 more replets. They get a little bit, even though they're all short, they can get confusing. And for the really motivated students, I'm also going to post the program 2 assignment that I gave to our college students this particular semester. Or maybe I'll post the one from last semester. Either way, we'll see. One of them was a Chick-fil-A assignment, which was cool. Another one was an ordering system. And another one was just some math problem. So I'll upload one of those for you to practice. And I'm curious how many of you want to be able to spend the time and solve that, because that will really get you up to speed. And we're going to start on Thursday with loops, which is going to be fun because we're really getting into it. Any questions for me? This has been a long session today. Sorry for the length, but any questions? Cool. I will bid you all a good afternoon, and check out the replets. I'll post them in Slack, a little announcement once everything has been uploaded. Take care.